So let me ask you something. How much time have you spent trying to control everything in your life? How much energy have you wasted overthinking, over planning, second guessing, and trying to force things to happen on your timeline? So here's the truth. Control is just an illusion. The universe is already working in your favor, orchestrating things behind the scenes. But if you're too busy gripping the steering wheel, white knuckling that you're going to miss out on the magic. So today we're talking about trusting the flow of life, letting go, releasing resistance, learning how to align with the divine timing instead of forcing things to happen. Because when you trust the flow, life becomes okay. So welcome back to the Sacred Essence Journey. We are on day 5, not 10-5, where we're diving into something that every single one of us struggles with at some point: letting go and trusting the flow of life. And as a Taurus, as a project manager, I got control issues and family trauma issues too. So now you already know letting go is hard, but let's be real. We like to control things, right? We like knowing what's next. Oh my God, what do we do next? But here's the thing, control is just an illusion. And the more you try to control situations, the less likely the universe, God, source can do amazing things for you in your life. Now, I already know some of y'all done clenched up your booty cheeks at the thought of letting go, because let's be real, we love control, me included. We like certainty. We like to know what's going to happen next. We need to know like 8 million things ahead. And the more we try to control everything, the less likely we are to allow miracles to happen from God, from source, whoever you believe in. So today we're shifting that energy. We're learning how to surrender, trust, and allow life to unfold exactly as it should. And spoiler alert, when you stop trying to force things, everything flows a whole lot smoother. So let's be real though. Most of us don't trust the flow of life because we've been conditioned to believe we have to do everything ourselves. Especially people that look like me. We are used to having a little bit and making a lot of it, right? We hustle harder, we push more, we work for every little thing. And while effort is very important, forcing things, it's a whole different energy. But usually we look like me, you got to do that. Okay, so the need to control usually comes from a couple of places. One, fear. If we don't make this happen, we'll fail. A lack of trust. I don't believe things will work out unless I intervene. And then impatience. Really, it's a big one for me. I want it now, and I don't trust the timing. Does that sound familiar? Because here's what I need you to understand. Life is already moving in your favor. Things are aligning in ways you can't even see yet. But if you're white knuckling it and gripping the steering wheel so tightly, how and when are things going to happen? You're blocking all of your blessings. You're blocking everything that could unfold for you because you are so stuck in this is what I need to happen that you're not allowing the miracles to happen, right? You're constantly overthinking. Your mind is running in circles on that hamster wheel. You have anxiety. You're dealing with fear, trauma, the worst case scenarios. And sometimes you're like, but Jasmine, if I don't control this, hey, I'm the damn table. I have no backup plan. I am the backup plan. I feel you. I really do. But staying in that energy, it can leave you emotionally exhausted from trying to make things happen all the time on your own. You're ignoring your intuition, and deep down, you know you should let go of fear. You have to let it go. And I mean, I'll just talk from my own personal experience. At one point, I just had to fucking surrender. When I say surrender, I had to just say, you know what? I don't got this no more. I don't give a shit what happens no more. I'm just going to let life do life. And it wasn't from a point of depression. It was just from a point of surrender. And when I surrendered, things started to just naturally flow for me. Like the solutions I was trying to come up in my own bread didn't even compare in comparison. So let's talk about what we need to do to like really flow. One of those things we need to flow is get it out of your brain, right? If you're like me and you think too much, write it down on a piece of paper. I have actually something I call Jasmine's bright ass ideas. And it's like I just write it down and I got a whole bunch of bright ass ideas that I'm not even thinking about right now because I only can focus on one thing. I only got so much energy in a day. So first thing to do is get it out of your brain. Get it out of your head. Get off the hamster wheel. Let it go. Then once you let it go, whatever you're worrying about, whatever you want to happen, you need to release yourself from the outcome. What do they call it? Set it and forget it. Don't burn it. Just set it and forget it, right? Because the path of least resistance doesn't mean do nothing. It means follow what feels aligned, inspired, and natural. So if you're forcing something and it's making you miserable, maybe that's not the door you're meant to walk through, right? So set it and forget it. Do the things you need to do in a day, right? Because what do they say? Faith without action is faith without works is dead, right? So do what you need to do in that moment to take the steps necessary. But then you need to release yourself from the outcome. So one of those things I'm doing right now is I have this whole thing that I'm going to be releasing on YouTube, right? I've always been so conditioned to have so much control, and I finally decided to just let go of the control and let it do what it's going to do. So now I record these videos. Sometimes I'm moving around, other times I'm still. It don't matter because I'm going to let it do what it do. If you resonate with me and who I am as a person, great. If you don't, you can kick rocks. I don't care. So back to my non-tangent over here. We are going to set it and forget it. We're going to release it. We're going to take the necessary steps that feel aligned, and then we're going to let it go. And then we're going to go do something else. Preferably, you should do something that makes you happy and joyful. Because when I was in that point in my life, which was, let's say about 17 or 18 months ago, where I was so freaking depressed and anxious and unhappy, and I was trying so freaking hard just to make it, right? I was trying so hard. I was trying to keep all the balls in the air, juggling everything. And I just had to say, forget it. I'm done. I surrender. Like source God. All there is, was, and ever shall be. I freaking surrender. Now, mind you, being the hard-headed Taurus that I am, it has taken me 18 months to finally get that surrender all the way down. Because I said I surrendered. I did for a moment, but I didn't surrender that long because I have a problem with, letting go of the reins. So anyway, when I was in that point, I was depressed, but I was more or less trying to figure out like what's the next step, or how do I make this happen, or I need this amount of money to do these things. And when I really let go of all of those things and I just surrendered, I started to follow what was the easiest thing, like ease, the path of least resistance. Because this whole video is about flow. And I'm circling back to it now. I got notes, but I don't go off those notes. I be spazzing over here. So yes, I started to follow the path of least resistance. What does that look like? That meant I wasn't struggling anymore to get things done. Like I would do what I could in a couple of hours, and whatever I couldn't do, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go be happy. I'm gonna go take me a nap or something, right? I also went and got a job. I did not want a job. Did not. But let me tell you, I applied for a job. Literally, within 2 days of applying for that damn job, I was hired. And when I tell you, I didn't want the job. I didn't want this job. I didn't want to have to get a job, have my own business, but my business stopped making money because I got rid of my clients because I couldn't stand my clients no more. Whatever, following the path, right? Flow, least resistance. Anyway, I applied for this job. I interviewed 2 days later. By the time I got off the phone, my consulting agency was calling me saying, oh my God, they love you so much. Now, let me tell you, when I had this interview, I didn't do nothing. I didn't show up nice. My hair was looking rough. I was just me. I just came to the table like as me. Like, you're gonna love me or not. I'm not gonna pretend I'm someone else. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be prim and proper. I'm not gonna change my voice. I'm not gonna do any of those things. I'm gonna answer these questions from my heart, and then we're gonna move forward. And I got the job. And 18 months later, things have definitely turned around. I still have a job. I ain't getting rid of this job. I'm keeping this damn job because I love getting a paycheck every freaking week, right? And I make over 6 figures in my job. So there's that. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that I still have these aspirations, these dreams to do other things, right? So I still have clients on the side that I do operations consulting for, but I also now do this as a life coach and as a spiritual person, because when I finally surrendered into the flow of things, I had a conversation, I channeled information like that I need to be an example. And as an example, what is the example I'm setting? The example that I'm setting is I'm trying to help everyone else do the same thing that I'm doing, which is to remember and live their best life and not be in fear and follow the flow. So for today's day 5 journal entry, I don't know what the journal entry was. I wrote these down, this 6-week journey, and I just follow it every day because I don't remember what the hell I wrote because I'm like that. I'm smart. However, I'm forgetful, and being over 40, it is what it is, right? And I got a 5-year-old, like I'm an old mom. Things are things. Things be thinking over here. So following the flow. In your journal prompt today, day 5, is going to be, what are the key things that you have been fighting so hard to make happen and they haven't happened thus far? So write down those things, the 5 things that you've been working on, that you've been hoping, praying, struggling to make happen. Some people, it could be they're trying to get out of debt. For other people, they're trying to have a baby. I can tell you a story about having a baby too. That's why I'm an old mom, because I didn't have a baby till I think I was 36 when she was born, turning 37, because I turned 37 the week after. So I was 37 when my daughter was born, and it was easy. And I'll tell you why it was easy in a minute. But 5 things that you're struggling to do. Once you write those 5 things down, I want you to reaffirm those. We talked about affirmations in the other one, in the I am video. I want you to reaffirm those. So if you want to get out of debt and you're like, Lord Jesus, Sky Daddy, Source God, all there is, was, never shall be, whatever the Elohim, whatever you want to call God today, I don't know, Allah, it doesn't matter, Jehovah Jireh, I don't care what you call God, because it is just one God. It's all the same God. We are God too. We'll get to that later, but right, we are God reincarnated over here, okay? We're Source God in physical form. So whatever you decide to call God today. Why am I so close to the camera? Focus. Anyway, reaffirm those 5 items. So if you're saying I am broke and I don't know how this is going to happen, what I want you to reaffirm that too is, Lord God, these are the things that I need to take care of. And I know I don't see a way, but you're going to make a way. Reaffirm them. And I'm not going to worry about this because these things are going to happen. Everything that's for me